All right, let's talk about what we saw and maybe the highlight of everything we saw. Auston Matthews on a torrid pace, picking up 2 more goals, leads the league in that department, 15 and now 16. And oh, by the way, has a point in 15 consecutive games. That's 5th all-time for the original 6 Toronto Maple Leaf franchise. What is not to like about this guy? Why is he so dialed in right now? Nobody can shut him down.
Nobody can shut him down, J-Mo. And I got to tell you, I think, being a Toronto native and growing up there, and there have been great players in our era that played there. Of course, the great Doug Gilmour and Matt Sundin, 2 Hall of Famers. But as far as drafted players, in the last 50 years, I don't see a player that's even close to Auston Matthews that the Leafs have drafted and developed. And you ask me why? It's the combination. He doesn't score from pet spots on the ice. Look at him generating offense in different ways from different places. And he also, like their team president, the great Brendan Shanahan, former teammate of mine, he can shoot the puck from different spots, and that makes it very difficult for the opposing goalies to read. If you can imagine a pitcher that's able to throw the ball with different arm slots and keep opposing batters off balance, that's what Auston Matthews does with opposing goaltenders. You can't read his release. He continues to get better and better. I love the offseason that he had, losing the 15 pounds, getting lighter, getting even quicker and more agile, and all that to say, too, a more complete player. For my money, I think we know Connor McDavid's the best player in the league, and Leon Draisaitl's right there with him. I mean, we could make the case for Panarin last year, too. Auston Matthews is right there, and he might very well be the best 200-foot player, complete player in the league today, right now. Arizona-born, or California-born, raised in Arizona, too, which is amazing. I love this.
All right, Hart Trophy, Rocket Richard. Let's make some predictions. We're at the quarter pole. If you had to hand it out now, would you give it to him? And let's predict the rest of the season. Is he your Hart Trophy winner this year, the way he's playing?
Absolutely.
Right now?
Absolutely. Hart and Rocket for sure. And just the complete nature in which he plays the game. And speaking to some people close to him and his agent, Judd Moldaver, in the offseason, they talked about how he had an extended offseason, and he had Freddie Anderson live with him, their goalie, and came to Arizona to train and skate. So too did other NHL players came there. Connor McDavid, we mentioned it here on the show last night.
That's fascinating. Because they're the 2 best players on the planet, and they're feeding off one another.
Yeah.
And we saw a documentary or an article about how they're not really stealing state secrets from one another, because 2 very different players. So it's not like they're giving up their secrets and exposing that aspect of their game, right?
That's right. And here's what's also interesting about that too. If you remember being up at the World Cup of Hockey, which I worked at that time, I remember being between the benches and doing color and watching these 2 guys play for that dynamic team, North America, on the same team.
It's the best team I've ever seen.
It totally. And in watching them, I was like, wow, this is crazy. And to think that they said, okay, well, we have that. We have a history of playing together in that tournament. Let's see what we can do in the offseason and try to make each other better. And they certainly have done that. Both of them have come out sizzling for both Edmonton and Toronto, respectively. They're 2 of the best players, and right now 2 of the best athletes in the world.